Looks like a beautiful first generation Corvette here with a supercharged LS. So like we're looking at a 1960 C1. So this thing's a little bit rough around the edges. Yeah, you certainly don't see that every day. Let's go ahead and strip this thing. Let's go ahead and use a welder, fix up this disgusting rust. Beautiful. Look at that. Whole different car right there. This one actually looks pretty darn clean. Still gonna give it a wash though. No reason to guess the color on this one. It's obviously a little bit of wow. A little bit more of the pearl came through though. And clean the pretty much non-existent interior. Next, let's go ahead and get that engine pulled. Honestly, all things considered, I feel like the quality on this one isn't too damn bad. You know, still pretty much all here. None of the parts are too rusty. I mean, stuff like the oil pan's obviously pretty bad. A little bit of the cross member too, but could be worse. Let's go ahead and get that engine pulled. And beautiful. Let's get up on the stand. Here we are, our 600 horsepower supercharged LS. I think this engine's still here enough that we're going to try and pull this one apart and save it. So I think we're going to make two versions of this, or two slight variations. I think we're going to make one that's a little bit more of a show car. And we're probably going to make a setup with a different set of wheels and maybe some slight tuning differences. And make it set for going down the drag strip. So at the time of recording this, I believe, yeah, it would have been yesterday, ended up doing my first ever one-on-one photo shoot with a black 370Z. I'll go ahead and throw up a couple photos that I took and edited from it, but it's pretty fun to be able to check at least one off the list. And I feel like this will be a good way to get myself out there a little bit, and something that I very much enjoy. No offense to them, because I obviously want to see them. I just heard a car outside, but I kind of hope that's not my people coming home. If it is them, it means I need to stop recording and go be social and do dinner and stuff. I've got a fairly heavy load of stuff to do, so I don't think I'll be able to do dinner tonight, but I'll say one thing about my photography that I would like to work on is right now I shoot on a 70 to 210 lens, and I have got a couple lenses, but I want to start focusing on using a little bit less of a zoom in lens. I want to get a little bit more comfortable with leaving breathing room around the images and giving them a little bit less cramped. Then again, for a little bit more actiony stuff, it kind of helps to have it a little bit more close. Or for a subject where the majority, if not all, of the focus is just in one area. And beautiful, torn down to nothing. There we go. At least we get to use the same block on this. And drop in our crane. Okay. So this build is going to be using some of the more high performance parts to be able to build the scene up a little bit faster and stronger than it was before. There you go, we got the whole bottom end of the engine assembled. Now I just gotta work on the top end area. Pretty much the perfect shade. I ended up painting our coils, just because I think the super bright red on the engine doesn't really look all that appealing. I think the performance parts, like in real life, like an MSD distributor or something, looks perfectly fine. Or a, you know, if your filter for your intake is red, like a K&N, you know, perfectly fine, looks good. I just think the packs, you know, there's gonna be 4 on each side of the engine. It just probably looks cleaner without them being a super bright red. There is our enormous supercharger. Now, honestly, I'm gonna guess this thing is going to make pretty darn close to 1,000 horsepower. That's gonna be wheel horsepower too. This thing's gonna be mean. So there we have it. There's our fully built supercharged LS. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and let that sit for a second while we finish up the rest of the car. So I think with this car having that supercharged LS in it, I think we're gonna sort of stick with that sort of resto mod type of look. So we're gonna keep that in mind when we're going for our choice in wheels and our choice for, you know, what brakes we're gonna run. So we're gonna keep a little bit of a show car feel to it, still with enough performance that we can go ahead and just throw on a drag pack or different set of wheels and be able to still put down some pretty good times. And, you know, most of the videos, like any GTA videos or kind of any other game, there isn't a whole bunch of time to just slow down and talk. So I'm just going to take a second and say, I absolutely this game is incredible. Love this game. But don't go into it expecting to come out as a master technician. I mean, there are some areas of this game just doesn't cover, and you are going to end up, you know, needing to turn to YouTube or online courses, or hey, better yet, if you can get some real hands-on experience. And for example, the other weekend I was working on my truck. See if I can throw a photo up on the screen. Got a 95 F-150, got a 351 Windsor, 4-wheel drive, you know, beautiful truck. It's got like 80,000 miles on it. It is like out of the wrapper, brand new. And recently, you know, it sat for a good 10 years straight. So it's sort of things have loosened up a little bit, and transmission is sort of going bad on it. And, you know, it's just been sitting for a while. We finally got some time to work on it. I finally sorted out one of the issues, and man, I was happy as could be when I got to drive it. Got onto the main road, and the moment it went to go from first to second, just will never make that jump. It just sat there revving out. It pretty much acted like it was in neutral. It was in the spot in between first and second, it felt like. And it just, at first I thought it was just slipping really bad, so I thought, okay, you know, we're gonna have to pull it, rebuild it, probably just a bad seal somewhere inside. But now I'm sort of wondering, you know, what else could be wrong with it. Still wouldn't trade it for the world. I just really do not want it to be a super big repair. So without my truck, I can't really go to a job, and without a job, can't make money. So without a way to get to the job, I can't make money, and without money, I can't pay for the truck. So I've got a couple grand kind of as my only outstanding debt. I think I mentioned in my video on my New Year's goals, or I guess my goals for 2025, but it's my only debt right now. I really do not want to see that debt grow, and in turn the burden on my shoulders grow, without any way to start working that down. time to start assembling this car again. So we're going to go ahead and throw our brand new engine in. Look at that. Sparkling, shiny new. Like even there, we've got pretty good. In there we have an intercooler that gives us an extra like 3.5% power. Like, that's pretty damn good. You know, that one's not terribly unrealistic. The cooler and more compressed you can get that air, more fuel you can add, which in turn means the more power you can make.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
Beautiful. Let's go and lower this down and get some of the more accessory based stuff in. And there we go. It's all back together. We just need body panels, wheels, and paint. Okay, let's get this back together. So for this build, there are a couple different options for the rear end, or for I guess the roof. There's the top down or the hardtop. For this one, we're going to go for the hardtop and paint it. We can always take the hardtop off and put on the basically hardtop delete later. And our final finishing touch will be the filter for the supercharger, well, for the intake. And there's all our body panels together. Let's go paint it. And go for black. That does look pretty damn good. I'm wondering though if we can add a little bit of some color to it, maybe like a very dark blue. Not too dark. I think that's actually really solid though. Beautiful. Look at that. That's night and day different. Okay, that looks ages better. Fills in the fenders more. I mean, that is perfect. Let's go ahead and dyno test this thing. Yeah, let's run this thing. Let's put oil in it and then run this thing. Okay, we're all topped up on fluids. Now let's run this thing. Factory, we had 623 horsepower, 570 foot-pounds of torque. Let's see what we got now. One 1,100 horsepower, 970, basically 1,000 foot-pounds torque too. That is pretty damn good. Honestly, I know it's a little bit more of a old school style tread. I think we just run this thing down the drag strip now and see how it plays out. Everyone knows the rules. We're gonna have to go for a quarter mile in, of course, R class, A class. And we only get one shot at this. Okay, that does not look good for us. We lost traction. Come on. Dude, this thing spins way too much. There is no hope at all of keeping this thing straight. We're gonna lose all our money on this one. Speaking of money, however, let's see how much our just incredible wheel spinny C1 Corvette is now worth. We're looking at a sell value of $564,000, leaving $412 grand for profit. that is quite remarkable, considering we don't even have plates on it. You know what plate we're putting on it? We're going for the My Way plate on a white and black this time. Not yellow and black, white and black. So with that, I think this build is officially over. Thank you so much for watching. I am Lee with Lee's Garage, and I hope I see you again quite soon. If you want more of my content, feel free to go check out my most recent GTA video of my cheap cars off the streets of Los Santos in the Stolen Show Car series. Thank you so much. Have a good night.